before I get out of here, I want to talk about the Buffalo Bills for a minute. And I want to talk about specifically the Buffalo Bills and how they honored Terrell Owens last night. Okay. They said he's a legend of the game. And I'm going to be honest about this. I think this is one of the most stupidest things an NFL team has ever done. And let me explain why. Terrell Owens, he played 8 seasons for the 49ers. He played 3 years with the Cowboys. He played 2 years with the Philadelphia Eagles. And then y'all remember he played, I believe, 1 year with the Cincinnati Bengals. He played 1 year for the Buffalo Bills. That year, and let me be very clear before I talk about Terrell Owens and his statistical numbers with the Bills, this is no knock against Terrell Owens. I think Terrell Owens is one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. I think Terrell Owens is a top 3 receiver in NFL history. I'll even say that. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. I'm good with Terrell Owens being a top 3 receiver of all time. I'm good with that. I think you could make an argument for Terrell Owens even being better than Randy Moss. I mean, that's another debate for another day. But this is no knock against Terrell Owens. I love T.O. And I also thought in his career, I thought that T.O., the perception of him was a bad perception, and it wasn't always fair. Because I always felt like T.O. wanted to win football games, and he wanted to be a key component to his team winning football games. And sometimes I think the perception of T.O. was that he was selfish, and I don't agree with that. Because I think T.O. wanted to win football games, and he wanted to win a Super Bowl. You remember the year with the Philadelphia Eagles? Terrell Owens in the regular season, he had tore his ankle up and was supposed to be done for the season. He returned back to the lineup in the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles and had over 100 yards receiving in the Super Bowl. So don't tell me Terrell Owens didn't care about winning, because he proved that the year when the Eagles got to the Super Bowl, when he came back from an ankle injury, when he was supposed to be done for the season, and he performed very well in the Super Bowl. So don't tell me Terrell Owens don't care about winning. Let me get back to the Buffalo Bills. In the one season that Terrell Owens played for the Buffalo Bills, he had 55 receptions for 829 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown in 2009. That year, the Buffalo Bills went 6-10. They missed the playoffs. Why in the hell are the Buffalo Bills honoring Terrell Owens as a legend of the game? If anything, the San Francisco 49ers should have honoring Terrell Owens as a legend of the game. He played there 8 years. He had some great playoff moments. You remember in the playoffs against Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers, Terrell Owens caught the game-winning touchdown pass from Steve Young. So he didn't win a Super Bowl with the 49ers, but he had a great career with the 49ers and had some great playoff moments. And then in Philadelphia, he didn't, win a Super Bowl. But again, he had a great performance when the Eagles went up against the Patriots and Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. He didn't win a playoff game with the Cowboys, but I just thought it was kind of crazy how the Buffalo Bills honored Terrell Owens. He was there for 1 season. 1 season. This was one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen a football team make. And it just shows you how awful the Bills have been in the past. They have been awful. I know they got a tradition. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. But for them to honor Terrell Owens for only playing there 1 year, I thought it was crazy. I just thought it was crazy. And I think Terrell Owens is, again, one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. He's a dynamic playmaker in the open field, and I think that he shouldn't have had to wait to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I thought that was ridiculous because he should have got in the first year he was eligible to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think it was a travesty that Terrell Owens had to wait to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. Let's talk about Terrell Owens' statistical numbers real quick, shall we? Before we get out of here, because he was that dominant. Terrell Owens, for his career, he had 1,078 receptions. He had 15,934 receiving yards, 153 touchdowns. He was one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. And honestly, I'd probably take him over Randy Moss. But again, that's another debate for another day.